A very important aspect of yoga is that we have to respect each and every individual as a unique being. Nobody is the same. We are all having different heights, different weights, different body types, different constitutions, different potentials, different interests, and very importantly, different purposes and paths in this life. So, Patanjali, the master of yoga, was very clear that one way will not be suitable for everybody. So, Patanjali offers practices that have to be tailor made to suit every individual so that the best of each person can shine. If we take a standardized approach, it will not work for everybody. It may not work for anybody in their whole life, because even we are changing each day of our life. We are not the same people as we were few years ago, and nor will we remain the same person few years from now. So that is why Patanjali calls the process of appropriate application of the tools of yoga as the Viniyoga of yoga. Acharya T Krishnamacharya was very instrumental in reviving this art when this art was slowly losing its relevance from the field of yoga, when group classes started to become very common since the 1930s. So Acharya T Krishnamacharya was very clear that we have to teach yoga individually so that the best potential of every person can actually come forth. And this becomes more important even in the domain of yoga as a therapy. Yoga as a therapy cannot be done in group situations to the best possible way, because every individual's experience with the disease is different. One person may have diabetes with high blood pressure. One person may have diabetes with arthritis. One person may have diabetes with depression. The same tools will not work for everybody. So this is very important even in the field of yoga as a therapy, more so because we have to deal with people one-to-one as their experience is very unique. Because Acharya T Krishnamacharya brought this back in a very strong way, and it was made very popular by his son and primary student TKV Desikachar, a lot of people started to associate this tradition of yoga as the Viniyoga tradition. It would be inaccurate to call this tradition as the Viniyoga tradition, because there is no style of yoga. Viniyoga of yoga is only an approach of yoga that every tradition of yoga must embrace. The word Viniyoga in this context is actually a verb and not a noun. Viniyoga of yoga, where yoga is the noun and Viniyoga is the verb, which means the appropriate application of yoga. So it would be inaccurate to call Viniyoga a particular style of yoga. Actually, Viniyoga is the approach of yoga that everyone must embrace for yoga to actually reach every person in the most appropriate manner. Viniyoga is a universal term that has to be followed not just for yoga but in every aspect of life. We do that in many aspects of our life. We must not forget that in the context of yoga.